I don't remember.
Yes, sir. We were asking that all three branches sign in on that so that we know, right, so that you, again, consolidate, that you have a three-branch government working in every state.
Yes, that's what we need. And if we can get that done, and we need 35 states to acknowledge that they are completed, that will give us legal standing or lawful standing to move forward and do some of the things that we've been waiting on to do. It's very important, folks, that we get this done. As I've told you in the past, just before the funding was released and just before that we were being recognized internationally, that the heat was going to be turned up. That was my opinion, and I'm seeing that happen right now. Doesn't mean that any of you are in jeopardy or in danger. This is what we refer to as a boo game. The corporation knows that it is going down. It already has been told. They have been officially notified that they are not going to be funded anymore and that the funding is going to come to the Republic. So they have been notified. And
what are you calling that?
I'm sorry?
What are you calling that, a boo game?
Yeah, a boo game. That's what convicts call it, a boo game. It's an attempt to scare people when there's really nothing behind it. They don't have the authority to do what they're trying to do, and if they do, if the corporation, and I've been hearing a lot of this on the internet, I will tell you this, if the corporation attacks the sovereign movement, they will nullify their own government internationally. That's how powerful that is. They're smarter than to do that. They would be the most foolish bunch of people on the earth to attack the sovereign movement, because they would actually nullify their own government by doing it. Because we can prove it in law, they don't have the authority to do that. And that would actually be the linchpin that would bring their destruction quickly. Okay, so I'm certain that they are smarter than to do that. Okay, but they're trying to scare people. They're putting all kind of stuff in the media, and then they're putting out all kind of lies to make you concerned and worried so that you'll jump ship, basically, so they can destroy the movement from within. They'll cause confusion from within. That's one of the reasons that we're taking a hard stand on some of the things that we're going to take a stand on, because some of them are being stirred up by agents themselves, and we know that. And some of the things, with the people that you just can't make resolutions with, some of them are working. Some of them may be agents, and some of them are working for agents in some of the states. You can't make resolution with them because their job is to sow discord and cause problems within our midst. So those folks that just are not going to come along, they're going to be left behind, because we're going to build a republic, and that's just the way it is, folks. We've got to. Congress is 100% in support of this, and we're going to move forward. We've got to build this republic, and we're running out of time. I need 34 states properly, lawfully documented. We're meeting with our law team next week, and we're going to be doing some preparation for some things that we need to do, but I cannot move. My hands are tied until we are fully documented, because I'm not going to go into any kind of situation where we make claims that we cannot support, because if we do that even once, we're done. We will lose all of our credibility internationally. We've got to have a minimum of 34 states documented in order to give us lawful standing to do the things that we need to do. I can't express the importance of this enough. This is more important than you having Christmas with your family. This is more important than you doing anything except breathing. You need to get this done. I know many of you are working very hard on it, and I appreciate your efforts. But, folks, it's time to put the foolishness behind us and build this republic. We're running out of time. I need this done. I've already been given the dates that we're going to be meeting with principals around the world. I need this stuff done, because I've got to get it in place so that we can have the standing to move forward. So please help us get it done.
Well, President Tim, we have been at this for a long time. It first started out with the ambassadors and the governors working together in Dropbox to establish a validation of all of the paperwork from their elected officials and appointed officials. Congress then took the whole matter into session, came out with a determination that we needed to have a minimum of 5 representative positions within each state, which needed to have documentation sent to Congress. And in the whole process, we have been trying to quantify that. There has been a shakedown in the Republic. Some states have come, some have gone, some folks have come, some have gone. Do we have, and is it appropriate to ask you or Rick or someone, let's have a update from the head up, the checkup from the neck up, to see where we need help? There are some of us in the Republic who would be willing to go where it's needed to speak out. If we need to build a state, if we need to have this, having some teamwork representation from different states, can you speak into that? Do we have some idea of what our shortfall is? Can we break this down into measurable steps?
I don't have an accurate figure yet. Congress has a committee working on that full time right now, establishing the parameters. I think Janine may have more information about that probably than I do, but I don't think that we're completed with the survey. But she may want to add something to that. She can tell you more about it than I can, I'm sure.
This is Rick. Rick. Go ahead, Janine.
I just wanted to let you know, Mr. President, we have that task force on the call with us tonight, so we can get that update.
Good evening, Mr. President.
Good evening.
Well, good. Well, Mr. President, then we'll just move on to the rest of the points that you wanted to cover tonight.
Wait, Robert. He had 3 points he wanted to cover. Let's let him do that.
That's exactly what I said, Rick. So
that's what he was trying to say. Okay. The third point is I've been getting some emails and some concerns about an alleged action that's going around through the states, where the states are trying to make some kind of pass a bill or make some kind of declaration that they're not going to be accountable for any monies they receive from the national government. I asked it to be addressed on the governor's call. I've not heard the feedback from it yet. To ask the governors if they could address that issue and see if we could figure out what's going on. But the bottom line, folks, is that I am bound and sworn by oath to uphold the laws of this land. And one of the laws of this land is that we have to have accountability for any funds that come through. Any public funds that we handle have to be accountable. Every single dollar of that is accountable. That's one of the things. There's no flexibility on that. So any state that decides that, if your Congress decides to pass a bill like that, when the funding comes into the national government, you will be excluded from the list because we can't do that. It's not within the law form that we uphold to do that. So I don't know why that even is an issue. It shouldn't even be an issue. So I don't know that I fully understand what they're trying to say, the ones that are doing that, but I will tell you that there will be accountability for any funding you receive from the national government. So if you have passed something like that, you need to make me understand what it is you're trying to do, because I don't fully understand, evidently, because that if you pass a bill that is saying what I think that it's saying, you will automatically be excluded from any funding from us, because we can't do it without accountability and won't do it without accountability. I took an oath to uphold the law of this land, and I will uphold the law of this land, and that's just that simple. There's not going to be any money doled out to people without accountability, period. And because I've got to put my name on the line, and my books are going to balance with God and with the people of this nation.
Wow! Oh my goodness, that was quite interesting there. Terry, this is a little bit intense. Let's just kind of
I've got to now share what really did happen.
Well, can we go ahead and take a short commercial break and let this kind of digest? just a hair with the people.
Yep.
I mean, this is this is a lot to swallow. I mean, not quite as huge as what we uncovered a few weeks ago, but wow, that's about all I can really say is wow. So, okay, we'll go ahead and take a break, and yes, definitely, Terry, when we get back, please feel free to add in what really happened.
Please.
Yes, this is Deatra with Freedom Reigns, hosted by Freedomizer Radio. Welcome back, Freedomizers. This is Deatra with Freedom Reigns, hosted by Freedomizer Radio. And with us today, I have several guests. I have Terry Hinkle, Jim Lovell, Lawrence Gilbert, and also Will and Deland Spencer. And we have been, playing a few recordings of some rather disturbing RUSA calls. And Terry, I'm going to go ahead and let you tell the people what actually really did take place.
All right, now for the truth. What on earth did Texas do? Aside from these vague accusations of not being willing to abide by Turner's Law. Well, it all goes back to the secret docks created in Utah and the never-ending claims of money. Big surprise, it's always been about secrecy and money with the Bush cabal, who are Turner's bosses. In recent months, Turner's feet's been put to the fire to finally put up or shut up as the desperation of those counting on the money increases. He doesn't have it. He never did. So what's he going to do next? He announces instead of the 3.5 megatons of gold he's been promising that he's now arranged for a loan for the Republic, one that has to be paid back in 7 years. Nobody's allowed to know from whence this loan is coming and who's involved. When asking, he only says where everybody else gets the money these days.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the good people of Texas, they get highly suspicious when they discover that the said loan involves using the land and natural resources of all the states as collateral. So, I'm going to read to you from 3 documents put out by the state of Texas. Keep in mind when I do this that Turner has claimed that he received a letter from the elected officials of Texas. Actually, there was no letter. What he received was a notice of default from the state of Texas. That notice of default originated with the grand jury of the Superior Court of the Texian Jural Society at the Republic State of Texas, not the governor, not the lieutenant governor, nor any other elected officials. If you know anything about grand juries, they are not elected positions. This notice of default came from the people of Texas. It was delivered unto Turner and the rest of his national thugs, by name, each and every one of them. I'd like to read to you from that notice of default as follows. Be it known to all men by these presents that more than 45 days have passed since each of the above respondents were served with an original or a copy of the Declaration of Trespass on the Rights, Privileges, and Immunities of the Sovereign Souls of Texas by the Republic for the United States, hereinafter the Declaration of Trespass, by a judicial proceeding having been properly commenced within the de jure grand jury of the people of Texas, as one of the compact several states of the United States of America, ratified by the people of Texas, and, further, said declaration of trespass was accompanied by an order from the Texas grand jury to provide legislative